The Paris Dakar Rally. Even the name sounds a bit risky, right? It makes you think of beat-up Land Rovers, super hot deserts, and tough guys with nicknames like Mad Mike, fighting scorpions for a sip of water. And guess what? You wouldn't be too far off. This wasn't a relaxing Sunday drive. This was a race where just finishing was like winning. Picture this, thousands of miles across rough land, the Sahara Desert, a giant sea of sand as far as you can see. Burning hot sun one minute, freezing desert nights the next. And did I mention the sand? Tons of it, just waiting to bury your car. The Paris Dakar was about pushing vehicles and people as far as they could go. It was about adventure, danger, and the excitement of not knowing what's next. It was, simply put, awesome. So who came up with this crazy race? Well, we can thank a French guy for that. Thierry Sabine, a super adventurer, got himself lost in the Tenere Desert whilst competing in the 1975 Rallye Côte Côte between Abidjan and Nice. But instead of freaking out, Thierry had a great idea. Why not a race? He thought. A race where getting lost is part of the fun. And so in 1979, the Paris Dakar Rally was born. 182 vehicles lined up in Paris, ready for the adventure of a lifetime. You name it, cars, motorbikes, trucks, and everything in between. Their goal? Dakar, Senegal. The only problem? Nobody really knew the way there, with only 74 vehicles surviving the 10,000-kilometre trip. The early days of the Dakar were wild, totally crazy. Imagine a bunch of adventurers, thrill-seekers, and just plain crazy people all together in the world's biggest sandbox. You had everyone from professional race teams in their fancy four-wheel drives to regular guys in their patched-up Renaults, held together with tape and hope. There was Cyril Neveu, the calm and collected Frenchman who was the winner of the inaugural race, and then went on to win the motorcycle division 4 more times. The privateer spirit of early racers tackling the event with limited resources encouraged such entrants as Thierry de Montcorge in a Rolls-Royce, and Formula One driver Jackie Ickx with actor Claude Brasseur in a Citroën CX. It was a group of the wildest racers, all wanting adventure and not really caring about getting hurt. The Dakar wasn't just about speed, it was about surviving. The land was a nightmare. Huge sand dunes, rocky areas that could shred your tires, and dangerous river crossings that could leave you stuck for days. And then there was the weather. One minute you'd be baking in the hot sun, the next you'd be freezing in the cold desert night. And don't forget the sandstorms, they'd come out of nowhere, making it dark as night and leaving you totally lost. Even though it was dangerous, or maybe because of it, the Dakar quickly became super popular all over the world. People loved the adventure stories, the pictures of these crazy people fighting the weather, and just how bold it all was. In 1982, there were 382 races, more than double the number that took the start in 1979. The event's popularity started to attract the big manufacturers such as Yamaha, Volkswagen, Lada, and BMW. In 1983, Mitsubishi entered the rally, an association that would last until 2009. For 1984, the course was extended through Ivory Coast, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Mauritania. Porsche officially entered. The total number of entries was now at 427. The German Mark won the event at their first attempt, courtesy of René Mettger, a previous winner in the car category. Gaston Rahier, meanwhile, continued BMW's success in the motorcycle category with back-to-back wins in 1984 and 1985, the year of Mitsubishi's first victory in the car category. The 1986 event, won by René Mettger for Porsche, with the legendary 959 taking first, second and sixth, and Cyril Neveu won once again in the motorbike division. However, the event was marred by tragedy. Event founder Sabine was killed in a helicopter crash in a sandstorm along with 4 others, Thierry's father Gilbert taking over organisation of the rally. The rally survived the loss of Thierry Sabine, and Gilbert took control with the help of the Verdouy-Metger team. The Dakar only continued to grow. The 1987 rally marked the start of an era of increased official factory participation in the car category, as French manufacturer Peugeot arrived and won the event with former World Rally champion Ari Vatanen. Peugeot would dominate the car class for the next 4 years until they withdrew from the event. As for motorcycles, a battle raged between Hubert Auriol, Cyril Neveu and Gaston Rahir. Close to victory, Hubert Auriol was the victim of a terrible fall and broke both his ankles. He was forced to forfeit and let Cyril Neveu win for the 5th time. 1988 was record-breaking. This year, the number of participants exceeded the 600 mark. Exactly 603 vehicles departed Versailles. 183 motorcycles, 311 cars and 109 trucks. A sign of good fortune, this record also coincided with the 10th anniversary of the Paris Dakar. These early years cemented the Dakar as one of the world's toughest challenges in endurance racing. It reminded us that sometimes the best trips are the ones that push us to our limits. Since 2009, the Dakar Rally doesn't go through Africa anymore. Too dangerous, they said, worried about safety and all that. Now it moves around South America and Saudi Arabia, different deserts, same crazy challenge. One thing hasn't changed. The people. You still have your serious racers, your regular people who race for fun, and famous people trying to find themselves in the desert. It's still a mix of crazy people brought together by their love of cars and excitement. The Paris Dakar Rally will always be more than just a race. It's a challenge, a test of how tough you are, and it shows how much people love adventure. It reminds us that sometimes the best journeys are the ones that take us out of our comfort zones and into the unknown.